Hi guys, hope you're okay. So a few months ago I did a video called Awkward Situations, which there will be a link in the description if you want to check that out, or sort of box I think like here. Basically I was just discussing all the awkward situations that happen in life and how I find them really funny. And I got loads of good feedback on it, so today I have decided to move on from that and do awkward situations in the workplace. Because I find that when you're at work, if something awkward happens, normally with a customer, because you have to try and be professional, you have to stay all serious and smart and presentable, you can't joke about it if something awkward happens, and then that just makes it 10 times more awkward. So yeah, today I'm going to be discussing some awkward situations that has actually happened to me at work that were pretty awkward and pretty bad. So my first story is located at a previous job of mine where basically it was just a food industry job where we would make food and then give out the food to the customer. Pretty simple. So I was serving this woman and she wanted a vegetarian wrap. I then went and found the wrap in a couple of minutes, gave it to her, everything was fine. And then about 5 minutes later, my manager comes over, who was also my friend, and she's like, "Jason, is this your vegetarian wrap?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I've already given that out." On our till systems, it prints out a sticker in the back, so then you'd put it down and it had your name on it, so you know it's yours. So she came over and she was like, "Well, this has got your name on it, so it must be yours." And I was like, "Oh, well, I've only sold one vegetarian wrap and I've already given that out." And literally, as soon as I said that, someone else that we worked with came over and was like, "Oh, has anyone seen a chicken wrap anywhere?" Me and my manager, literally, we locked eyes for a second, and it was like pre-panic, because this woman at the tills had told me about how she was a vegetarian and how she couldn't eat meat and blah blah blah. She pretty much told me her life story. So I came to the realization that I may have given her a chicken wrap. Meat wrap. So I said this to my manager and I started to freak out. I was like, oh my god, I think I've given a vegetarian meat. Like, she's walked off, this was about 5 minutes ago, chances are she started eating it. Like, what do? I didn't know what to do, because it's like, if I go over there and I find her, even though I couldn't really remember what she looked like, if she'd already started eating it, how could I then tell her that in fact that was meat that she'd been eating? Or if I found her and she was eating it, just leave it, because clearly she didn't notice and I didn't want to get in trouble. So I asked my manager and I was like, what should I do? I really don't know. We were pissing ourselves laughing, because it was just so funny. And my manager was just like, just leave it, leave it, see if she comes up. Hopefully she won't, and we'll just deal with it if it comes up, but there's nothing we can do. And then I carried on surfing, and what do you know, the woman comes back up to my till. I see her, and I obviously recognise her immediately. My manager is right behind me, and I literally grabbed her arm from behind me and squeezed it really hard so that she knew what was going down. And then this woman comes up to my till. I am preparing for full annihilation. I was prepared to just get yelled at for a very, very long time. And then she smiles at me, which I'm like, why are you smiling? I thought she was lulling me into a false sense of security, oh yeah, she's smiling, she's happy, it's fine, and then she would just release a beast and then just kill me with her words. Then she just goes, "Oh yeah, I just ordered this wrap, but I asked for no sauce and it has sauce in it." I think I must not have answered her for a couple of seconds. I was just sort of standing there being like, and she'd opened up the wrap as well so we could see that there was sauce. And so I looked at it, and then she looked at it, and just as she did that, she went, "Wait a second, is that meat?" And then she was just like, no, 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 I'll get you that one with no sauce, it's fine, apologies for that, I'm so, so sorry. Right, go and stick that down, it's fine, I'll come back up, it's fine. Like, I yanked that thing out of her hand before she could look at it anymore. And just like, ran away. Me and my manager could laugh for about another 10 minutes in the back. It was so bad. And then, luckily, she hadn't taken a bite out of it. She hadn't eaten any of the chicken, and she didn't notice. Thank God. I thought, it was terrible. Really, really terrible. It was one of those times where you're just laughing because you just like literally shat your pants. Like, your heart, like you're so scared that you're gonna get in massive amounts of trouble, and then you don't, and you have to laugh. It was hilarious. My next story actually happened in the place that I work now, and at my place of work now, we do this thing where people can order items into the store and then come pick them up. So this man came in, and he came to me and he was like, oh, I've ordered this item, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, great. He gave me the number for it, and I went off and found it, brought it back. And for stuff that happens with that, you got to check that it's them that's picking it up. So I was like, oh, you've got an ID on you. And so he gave me the ID, and I hadn't even looked at the name on the package. I literally just looked at the item number. And then I looked down, and the name on the package said something like a woman's name. It was like Sophie or something. So I looked at this man, and I was like, oh, we can't give out packages to people that aren't on the package. Even if you're picking it up for a friend, you can't do it, blah blah blah. And he was like, oh no, this package is for me. And I looked down again, I checked it, and definitely said like Sophie. And I was like, no, because this is Sophie. And then he was like, yeah, that's me. And then I went, yeah, but you can't be, because Sophie is a girl's name. You see where I'm going with this? I then looked up at the man who was giving me the most evil look I have ever received. Ever. And that's when I started noticing that he was wearing some makeup and has both his ears pierced. And I looked down at the ID that he'd given me, which had Sophie on it. Then I looked at the picture, and in the picture the person had a lot longer hair, looked more feminine. I then realised that it was in fact a woman, and that I had just called her a man. Yeah, there was literally a point where we just didn't speak for like a good 5-10 seconds. We were just looking at each other. Him or her giving me the most evil look ever. Me just looking. I think I actually took a step back because I was scared that she was going to hit me. Because she was manly. She was dressed in like just like trousers and a normal boring t-shirt, just short hair, and I didn't even really look. I didn't even like really take it in when she first came up. And then I think I just sort of gave a really awkward smile and just slid the package over, making sure that I was like arm's reach away from this woman. I was just like, there you go, have a nice day. And then she just started like walking off, mumbling under her breath, probably some very mean things about me. Probably. And again, I then went round back and just started laughing because I just shat myself. My next job was, I actually worked for my university last year's graduation, and basically the whole idea of the job was that the graduates come in, they get their gowns, they come to us, and we would put the gowns on them and make them look how they're meant to look for their graduation photos. Nice and easy, not a difficult job at all. Only thing was, with the gowns, they sat on the men really well, but where the women are sort of slenderer and their shoulders slouched down, the gowns would fall off a lot, and they had little sashes that went over their heads as well, and they would fall out of position, and so we had to start pinning the sashes to the gowns so that they would stay together and look good still. Perfectly normal. The only thing was, that with the women, when we had to pin the sashes, they always had to sit in the breast area. I'm so posh that I said breast. And so it would always be quite awkward because it's like, well, I'm now going to have to caress your boob to do this part of the job. So normally I would ask them and I'd be like, oh, so I've got to pin this to your gown. Did you want to do it? Because obviously it's in this area. But some of the girls were just like, no, go for it. Just, you know, hack away, it's fine. Which was more uncomfortable. And you had to even like hold it under the gown. Basically there was a lot of boob grazing and cupping and accidental tapping. There was a lot of it going on. It was kind of awkward. But this one woman was like, yeah, go for it, pin this sash to my gown. So I was like, fine. The pins, they're like little tiny thin things, they're quite sharp. And so you have to proper push down quite hard to get them through the gowns. So I was pushing really hard on this one gown because it was not going through. And it was right on the boob area, but obviously I was pulling the gown away so I wasn't, you know, just trying to stab a boob. And I'm pushing really hard and it's not going through, so I'm proper going for it. And then it finally does go through, but where I'm pushing so hard, it goes straight through and basically it stabbed her in the nipple. She then just cried out in pain and was basically just holding her boob. And I basically just pierced her nipple for her. Yeah. I then just ran and got my friend and asked her to finish this woman off because I had a feeling she didn't want me to do it anymore, but so awkward. I was like apologising so much, and again, I think I have a problem because I was really trying to cover up laughing. And apologies to the lovely lady that I did boob stab. It really was an accident, but it was quite funny. So thank you guys for watching. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed these stories. If you did, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more work stories because I've got so many. And if you like this video and you want to see more of my videos, then don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Do it. You know, it's cool. It's fun times. So thank you guys for watching and I shall see you all soon. Ta-ta for now. Ta for now. TTFN.